Welcome all to our channel. We are here with Laura Deer and Lucas, and we are ready to rock and roll. As you might say, there upon Mother Earth, rocking and rolling is something you're familiar with. At least most of you are. We would like to say that Mother Earth herself is also rocking and rolling, and this is our metaphor we would like to start with today. That we see Mother Earth as a compatible being that is in a process of entering into a new way of being. And this process is one that is not to be taken lightly, we could say. It's not always a light process of ascending, and Mother Earth is indeed ascending as we are all ascending. We see that you all on Mother Earth are in we would like to say, a happy adventure. Now, we don't mean that every moment is happy, but we would like to say that it is an adventure that is of high frequency, and we would say there are moments of high bliss, and because of this, we would call it a happy adventure. We see you all, those of you who are watching this video, as working to become lighter and lighter. And this indeed is what also Mother Earth is doing. She is working to become lighter and lighter. So the both of you are working to become lighter and lighter. And in this, you are very compatible. Now, what we mean by this is there are those on Mother Earth who are not working to become lighter. And it is not that they're trying to become heavier. It's just that they're not able to work, or they're not able to lessen their load. And they are what you may call a little bit heavier at this moment. And that energy, that heavier energy, is not as compatible with Mother Earth. Mother Earth is in a place where she is moving and she is grooving to lighten her energy. She is shaking, she is rattling, she is rocking and rolling. And this will continue to happen for some time, so that her energy can indeed transform. It can change. This is necessary. This is needed to happen for the next things to happen. So last week we talked about chaos and how chaos is necessary for change. Lightening up and moving, motion, finding a way for the physical body, whether it is a planetary body or a physical human body, to lighten the load, to loosen the energy, to let go of the energy, is very, very important and pertinent to do at this time. So what we are saying is we want to bring up the fact that we know, you're aware that Mother Earth is rocking and rolling, and this is going to continue. However, it's not going to be, as we spoke about last week, a very one single catastrophe that will happen upon Mother Earth at this time. There will be smaller events happening around the planet continually. So we want to say that it will be happening continually. And the rest between what you hear on the news will get smaller and smaller. There'll be continual changes happening. And this is so Mother Earth can be continually changing. We are moving into the final end game, as you might say. These are indeed what some might call the end times. It is not a phrase we like to use very often because it brings in a lot of fear. But what we want to say is that this is the end game of this time we've been in, and we're moving into an opportunity for humanity to ascend in their physical bodies. Before this opportunity, it is known that the easiest and best way to ascend one's being, one's soul, is to do that through passing to that life ending, and then finding that soul finding its way to ascend, and then reincarnating. This, however, is the difference. In this time, we all are, you, the part of humanity, not all of humanity, the part of humanity that is choosing to ascend is choosing to ascend in the bodily form. So this is why really we're here. Because if you were all choosing to ascend in the normal, traditional way, we could say, of ascending, where you pass and then each individual soul will find its way to its own ascension and its own path. If that was what was happening, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be talking to you. We would just let that happen and let that go, and we would be thankful for that. However, this is a different time. In this time, there are those within humanity that are choosing to ascend in bodily form. So that means your body will indeed be changing as well. Mother Earth's planetary body is changing. Your physical body will be changing. And this is just part and parcel of this activity of ascension. It is not something that will be the same for every individual. Every individual will change in their own ways, for everybody has its own needs, its own requests, we would like to say, its own path. So everybody is going to change significantly, but in its own timing and in its own way. There are some things that all of humanity that is ascending will experience. However, there is a great deal more that pertains to each individual. So when we say there will be changes within your human body, there will be changes, but those changes will differ significantly between person to person. And part of this is because everybody is different, everybody is going through different things, everybody needs different healing. That's part of the reason. The other reason is simply because we are all one body, but we are all individuals, so we need to do it differently, not only because we are different, but because we need to create a whole. Now, I know this might be a new thing for some of you to hear, but not only are we a diverse group of, we could say, humanity and us on this side of things, but we also all hold our own ways of being and doing things, and we need that diversity in order to be whole. We are not all one way, and those of us who are ascending are not all one way of being in body, of how we are collected, you could say, in body, of how we are made in body. We are all different, and we're meant to be different. It is not that there are some that are just higher frequency or further ascended, so their process of their body changing will be this way, and it's somehow better. That's not the case. There are others who will have a very different bodily ascension, we could say it that way, but it's not about being lower or higher frequency or a stronger or weaker body. It is simply because a diversity is needed in order to have a whole. Now, that may sound a little strange, and we understand it may be something that not many are speaking about, but it is not that our group, our collective of those of you that are ascending on Mother Earth and us on this side, we are, if you remember the circle, the flame, we are a collective in ourselves. However, we need that collective, and one way to look at this is a circle. We need that to be a circle. Now, every individual within that circle, all around that circle, different individuals, they all need to be slightly different. If they were not slightly different, it would be more like this, if this makes any sense. It would be like they'd all be the same in a row. Okay, being that we all are different, we can then form a circle because the chemistry, the needs, the energy, physics, we could say, within one individual on this part of the circle needs to be very different than this one on this part of the circle. Now, we know that this is something that may sound strange. We can hear Lori dear inside saying, what are you talking about? We are saying that if you think about a circle, right? This side of the circle needs to be different mechanically, technologically, you could say, than this side. Now, we're talking about human beings right now. So human beings, we need them to be, the collective needs to be varied so that we can form this whole. Okay? If those who were ascending were all one way of being embodied, they would form a line and they would not be able to encompass the whole experience of humanity that we need. So we are saying that There is a necessity to accept, and we would say love yourself and each other, and not expect oneself to have the same journey, but also to have the same physicality as the other. And it is important to understand this diversity is not, this necessary diversity is not only about gifts like what you bring to the circle, right? This person can do that. This person can do that. This person can do that, okay? It's also about what a person cannot do and how that diversity, we would say, happens with the can do's and cannot do's and the absences and the fullness. So what we're trying to say is we would like you to accept who you are, but also who you are in body. And as you go through this ascension timeline, we would ask that you try not to judge what is happening within your own body. And of course, in another body, but that's not really the problem that we see happening on Mother Earth right now. We don't see you judging others so much in your ascension group as it is yourselves. We see many of you right now on Mother Earth looking at yourselves and going, and feeling bad about this or not sure about that. We would say accept where you are at, even though you may not understand what is happening, because this is a time where nobody on Mother Earth is going to fully understand what is happening. The veil is getting thinner and thinner. However, there still is a veil, and it has to be that way, or you wouldn't be where you are. We know that many of you are always looking forward to what is coming next, and there is nothing wrong with that, as long as you understand that right now it's already happening, and right now I'm not going to understand everything. There's something to acknowledging that will allow your spirit to open and allow you to experience what you need to in the moment. And those experiences may surprise you. You may have new feelings or new physical feelings, I'm not talking emotional feelings, but like physical feelings throughout your body, physical experiences, or you may not. You may not. There are some people within this ascension timeline that will have no physical symptoms of anything spiritual in nature. And we know that may seem like that to some may not be much fun, but to others, that could be just what they need. They need that complete calmness, and they could have already gone through some of that in different ways in their sleep time. They may be going through things that are equal or even greater to someone else who is experiencing many physical feelings of ascension. We want you to understand that there is much about this journey that we can share with you. However, there is much that we cannot, and that is a necessity as well. This veil is a real thing, and although it's getting thinner, it is necessary. So you will always be in a state of not knowing fully. And if you can come to terms with that and accept that, it'll make this process easier for you. So what does this mean? We are hoping that you in your daily life will take time to release feelings of judgment about yourself and of course about others. But we are talking mainly about judgment upon yourself. And releasing that judgment in itself will bring you to places that you will not have been able to have gone the moment before you release that judgment towards yourself. Let yourself relax. Let yourself enjoy as you can the place you are in. Wherever you are at, spiritually speaking, on Mother Earth right now, is where you're supposed to be. And you have a path that you are learning that is not only for you individually, but it also helps the whole. It is important for humanity to have as much diversity as it can in this ascension timeline. Because as we come together as a unit and as a collective, it is important that we are a circle, a flame that moves and changes, and that only can happen if we are different. So we would like to end this moment that we have together on video by saying that we are very thankful for all of you. We are hoping to get across some messages that may seem simple, maybe overly simple, but really we find that these small nuggets are very important for us to get across, because when we are looking and we are observing those of you who we love upon humanity that are on the ascension pathway, we can see common things happening between you. We can see that it's happening with many of you. And that is why we are bringing them up, because we want things to be easier for you. And maybe this video was not a video that talks about huge things, but we have talked about a few things and we have woven some things in. And for that, we are very thankful. We wish you all have a grand day. We send you great love. We are the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Council of Nine, and the Council of Light, coming through Xanadu and then coming through Lori dear. Adieu and adieu. Okay.